Hi everyone! Welcome back to our English story channel. It's great to see you again. Today we have a new story for you. It's called My First Day in Korea. This story is perfect for beginner English learners. You'll learn simple words and sentences. Are you ready? Let's begin.
Hi, my name is Luna. I am 24 years old, and I come from a small town far away from here. For a long time, I have dreamed about coming to Korea. I love Korean music, dramas, fashion, and especially the food. Learning the language has been my hobby for years. Today, my dream finally came true. I arrived in Korea for the first time. When the airplane landed at Incheon International Airport, my heart was pounding. I looked out the window and saw the wide runway, the big terminal building, and many people walking outside. Everything felt so different and exciting. I kept telling myself, I'm really here. This is real. After leaving the plane, I followed the signs to immigration. The airport was huge, and many people were waiting in lines. I tried to stay calm even though I felt nervous. When it was my turn, the immigration officer smiled and asked me why I was visiting. I said, I'm here on vacation. He stamped my passport and said, Welcome to Korea. I felt so happy and relieved. I collected my suitcase from the baggage claim area and headed outside. The air smelled fresh and a little sweet. I saw people waiting for their families or friends, some holding signs with names on them. I stood for a moment, watching the busy scene. It was my first time in a new country, a place full of life and new possibilities. I found a taxi stand and waited patiently. When it was my turn, I got into a clean yellow taxi. The driver was friendly and asked where I wanted to go. I showed him the address of my hotel on my phone. He nodded and smiled, then started driving. As the taxi moved through the city streets, I pressed my face gently against the window. The city looked beautiful. Tall buildings with glass windows, colorful signs in Korean, and many people walking on the sidewalks. Some shops had bright neon lights, and some streets were full of small trees and flowers. I saw a group of students wearing school uniforms, laughing and chatting as they walked. Everything was new and exciting. When we arrived at the hotel, I went inside and checked in. The receptionist greeted me with a warm smile and said, "안녕하세요. Welcome to Korea." I felt comforted by her kindness. I gave her my reservation details, and she handed me my room key. I thanked her and took the elevator up to my room. My room was small but cozy. The bed was soft, and there was a window that looked out over the city. I unpacked my bags slowly, placing my clothes and things neatly on the shelves. Then I opened the window and breathed in the fresh air. Below me, cars moved along the streets, and lights blinked from shops and cafes. I felt a mix of excitement and tiredness from the long journey. After resting for a short time, I decided to explore the neighborhood. I put on comfortable shoes and stepped outside. The streets were busy with people walking quickly. There were many cafes and restaurants with delicious smells coming from their kitchens. Some signs had beautiful Korean characters that I tried to read. I felt a little shy but wanted to practice my Korean, so I said "안녕하세요" to a shop owner, who smiled and greeted me back. Feeling hungry, I walked into a small restaurant. I looked at the menu, which had pictures of the dishes. I pointed to bibimbap, a dish I had always wanted to try. The woman working there smiled and nodded. Soon, she brought me a hot bowl filled with rice, colorful vegetables, egg, and spicy sauce. The smell was amazing. I mixed everything together carefully. Taking the first bite, my eyes closed because the taste was so good. It was fresh, spicy, and comforting all at once. I thought, this is better than I imagined. The warmth of the food made me feel happy inside. After dinner, I continued walking to see more of the city. I didn't watch my phone or check a map. I wanted to discover things naturally. But after a while, I realized I didn't recognize where I was. The streets looked the same, and I couldn't remember which way to go. A little worry came over me. I felt lost. I looked around and tried to stay calm. I remembered the basic Korean phrase I had learned for asking help. "좀 도와주세요," which means, please help me. I saw a woman walking nearby with a shopping bag. I approached her and said, "Excuse me, can you help me? I'm lost." She smiled kindly and replied in broken English, "Where hotel?" I showed her the name and address on my phone. She nodded and said, "Okay, follow me." We walked together for about 10 minutes. She pointed out some landmarks to help me remember the way next time. When we reached my hotel, I thanked her with all my heart. She smiled and waved goodbye. Back in my room, I sat on the bed and laughed softly to myself. So much had happened today. Excitement, nervousness, kindness, and discovery. I felt proud for being brave enough to travel alone. I knew that tomorrow would bring more adventures.
Thank you for watching. Did you like the story? Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and write a comment to practice your English. Tell us, have you ever traveled to a new country? How did you feel on your first day? See you in the next video. Bye-bye.